Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Dare Odumosu, and I am the Chief Executive Officer at Zelira Therapeutics. We are a quintessential biopharmaceutical biotech company that is very focused, very primarily on the development and the commercialization of clinically validated cannabis and cannabinoid-based medicines. I am a PhD. I'm a molecular geneticist by training, but have spent the last about 12 years now in the pharmaceutical space, from product development all the way through FDA approvals and commercialization in about 94 different countries over the last 10 years. So I say all of that to say that when it comes to cannabis, our company brings the entire weight of drug development. Having said that, let's not forget that more than 80% of the drugs on the market today were derived from natural compounds, for which cannabis has the longest standing documented history of safety and efficacy. So as far as I'm concerned, as far as a lot of us understand, cannabis is medicine. So what do we do as a company? Our global strategy is very simple. We have footprints in the United States, in Australia. We're a publicly traded company on the ASX, in Germany, and in the UK. We do clinical trials and observational trials, as well as drug development and commercialization. This year alone, in the next 30 days, we will be bringing into the marketplace 5 different products, 3 of which are launching in Australia starting next week, and 2 which are part of our licensing and our expansion of our product into the United States. We'll be launching in Louisiana through our partners. But very, very importantly, what I want to leave with us as pharmacists and healthcare practitioners is that the way you were trained to understand drugs and how drugs are developed and how they are studied and how they are validated, our company kind of bridges that, leveraging the arbitrage in the United States, as well as the traditional understanding of drug development path. How is Zelira different? Traditionally, you think about developing your drugs. The pharmaceutical companies go out, we spend millions of dollars over 15+ years to develop products. They go through the clinical phases, then they are launched, and then you generate revenue. But in the United States, because of the arbitrage, where each state kind of functions, where almost as a mini FDA, where the state has said, we believe that cannabis is effective for this list of conditions. With that, we understand that, we've been given permission, of which I had an opportunity in the state of Pennsylvania, as the founding chief operating officer at Zelira Healthcare, to bring to market a series of products. And with that, we flipped the model on its head, and we call it the launch, learn, and develop. So when, through the history of how Zelira was formed as a company earlier this year, we started to really help the world understand that the model in the cannabis space is products are launched, then we engage in real world data, observation, and then we take that information and we can use it in different ways. We can use it to either advance the products that has been made or to develop new products. And but that's for the United States. In countries like Germany and Australia, where cannabis is fully legal, we are able to bring products to market in the traditional way. In Australia, under the auspices of the TGA, which is a first world regulatory body, just like the FDA, we are able to actually conduct clinical trials. And in Australia, we actually get reimbursement. So we're also different because we focus on the current patient needs, which together comprise of some of the largest addressable markets, from pain to sleep to anxiety. And then you start to focus on very specific indications within that kind of encompassed in that, such as autism, We also have a very strong intellectual property portfolio, from cancer to skin diseases to sleep disorders, autism, anxiety, and opioids. We actually have patents granted that are very broad composition and in use. We're generating new IP, and we have patents pending. And all of our patents that have been granted are very strong and very defensible. And finally, we are very, very focused on disrupting the marketplace. Again, why are we doing that? One, we understand the pharmaceutical space because that's where we come from. But we also understand that something else is going on, that in the last few years, using 2019, for example, there's been a major switch in the United States and across other legal markets from cannabis. New Frontier estimated that in 2019, about $4.8 billion was substituted from traditional pharmaceutical products to cannabis or cannabinoid-based products. So the importance and the urgency of understanding how to play in the cannabis space while providing medicines that are clinically validated is really why we are focused and why Zelira is in the space. Zelira continues to develop a very strong clinical development pipeline through partnerships with accredited universities and medical centers as Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, St. Vincent Hospital, and other universities across the world. Like I said, as a result of all of these activities, we have developed products that have gone through, some have gone through clinical trials, some have gone through real life observational outcomes report to support them, and we're launching multiple products. So Hope is a product that we launched in partnership with Zelira Healthcare in Pennsylvania at the time, in partnership with Hope Grows for Autism. That product continues to do well in Pennsylvania, has been licensed to other markets across the United States, and even in Australia will be launched in about next month. But beyond that, we've also launched Zenivol, which is the world's first clinical trial, the world's foremost product, cannabis product with clinical data, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But we're also developing products across several other indications, age disorders, dermatology, and targeted pain. As I spoke about Hope earlier, we launched it. This is not an FDA approved product, but this is a product that is approved under the Department of Health in Pennsylvania and already in Louisiana under the Department of the regulatory body as well. The TGA in Australia has allowed us to commercialize it as well, and we continue to expand it into other markets. It was developed under what we also call, co-creation, community, customization, and choice. It's really kind of a hand-in-glove model where you partner with the community that is affected by the disease state. You gain real-life understanding. You apply that to drug development. You launch the drug, you share it, and then you gain more data about the product and you improve it. Frankly speaking, this is how drugs were developed before the age of single molecular entity and single target chemistry and computation chemistry target drug development. Zenivol, as I said, is the world's first clinically validated cannabis product for chronic insomnia. With this product, we designed and carried out a phase 1, phase 2 clinical trial under the auspices of the TGA. It was a double-blinded, placebo-controlled crossover design. And the results, as I would share in the next slide, just to move forward very quickly, the primary endpoints of this study was met, and the secondary endpoints were met as well. Safety and efficacy endpoints were met, as well as endpoints for quality of sleep and quality of life. And they were both statistical and clinically relevant and significant. We never ever leave out patient testimonials because, again, at the heart of what we do is that we are impacting and improving the lives of the patients we serve. By keeping that at the forefront, we are able to really focus on what is important. As you can see on the screen here, we were able to share, to collect testimonials from patients who had the placebo, as well as our clinical trial product. This slide is one of my favorite slides because in this slide, we show very clearly, in comparison to products that are indicated for insomnia that are marketed across the world today, such as Belsomra, such as the Ambien and Temtabs, our product, ZLT-101, which is now branded as Zenivol, checked many boxes. One that I want to bring to your attention is we had no serious side effects, while the clinical trial data associated with this other products that are on the market today have that. So this underscores very clearly when we say for us, cannabis is not only a safe but effective medicine, but now that we're doing clinical trials in the way that is understood, we're able to bring that to light. Zelira continues to check a lot of significant boxes with upcoming milestones. This year, we are expanding the Hope range of products across the United States and across the world. We are delivering value through clinical trial and observational trials. We just also shared data from our dose escalation chronic pain trial. We just announced a trial to be launched where we are looking at chronic pain in retired athletes, as well as formulating and working to bring products that address a range of indications. So with that, to do that kind of work, you have to have a strong team. Our team comes with strong pharmaceutical, business, drug development, and a strong operational management and finance background from across the world. So thank you for the opportunity to be a sponsor in this and to share with you what Zelira is doing. I don't know if I have any time for questions.
I don't see any questions in the chat, but you got 2 minutes, so we'll wait a second or two. This was excellent, Dr. Dare. Thank you so much. If you do have questions, feel free to enter them in the chat so that everyone can see. Otherwise, I think you did include your email at the start.
Yes.
Oh, there is a question. What was the active ingredient in the new insomnia product, the new US study drug?
The insomnia product that was formulated and used in our clinical trial, the active ingredient is a combination of very specific cannabinoids that include THC, CBD, CBN in that formulation, with some very specific terpenes that are built in what we call non-naturally occurring ratios to form a very proprietary formulation.
I'd be interested to see what that label looks like, just knowing, we have struggles in the pharmacy world just by having ratios. And so when you have more than 2 molecules, so it's like 20 to 1 to 2, and it does look like THC is first. So I like that.
Very well. And this, again, just to highlight, this was actually conducted and is under the auspices of the TGA, which is Australia's regulatory body, and it's a first world regulatory body. So that's why we're able to take that data pack and bring it into the United States. The FDA is going to require that we do some additional studies, but we're able to commercialize and start licensing those products, which we are actively doing right now in the United States.
Excellent. I got one more question, a little bit more abstract. What 2 ideas made the company take off?
What 2 ideas? The idea that first, we believe that there is arbitrage in the United States based on the regulatory pathway, but also there is an understanding, a traditional understanding. And when you bring the right people together, I think we could take advantage. So we have that global footprint. That's idea number 1, is that we could take advantage of the arbitrage in the United States and the traditional understanding. And the second idea that made this company take off is simply courage. The courage to step into a space and start conducting clinical trials where people would say it's not, oh, we can't do that. Well, finding and working hand in hand with the regulatory bodies was the second thing we did, to be able to say, well, if we can't do this, can we do this? And you would find that there's a way in that. So those are two of some of the ideas that allowed us to take off.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Dare. It was a pleasure. Thank you so much for what you are doing in this space as well as supporting us.
Thank you very much. Have a good afternoon and enjoy
You
the rest of the
too.
day.